WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for staying up with us tonight. Governor Tate Reeves has repeatedly said he's not interested in shutting down the state again, but he's taking some steps today that he believes will limit the spread of the virus while keeping small businesses in operation. Courtney Ann Jackson explains.
Bars and the spread of the virus among the younger population isn't a new topic in one of these briefings with Governor Tate Reeves. But Friday, he took action. They will now only be allowed to sell alcohol to seated customers.
You cannot safely crowd up by the bar and mix with lots and lots and lots of people.
There will also be a time restriction with alcohol sales at bars and restaurants not taking place between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m.
Because we know that that's when these crowds, primarily of young people, throw social distancing out the window.
It's a more lenient approach than some surrounding states.
The decision-making process is trying to weigh a strong philosophical bent against doing anything to hurt small businesses, while at the same time doing everything in our power to make sure that we slow the spread of this virus.
Another statewide change limits social gatherings. Indoors, no more than 10, and outdoors, no more than 20. State Health Officer Dr. Thomas Dobbs says it's critical.
Anytime you put a lot of people together, especially indoors, but also outdoors, social stuff is killing us. It's going to be a party. It's going to be just people hanging out. It's going to be things that normally we applaud as a strong element of society, funerals and churches and that sort of thing. Anytime we put people together, there's going to be a risk, and we really, just for now, we need to avoid being around other folks as much as we can.
And although there's no statewide mask mandate, with the addition of 6 more counties for enhanced restrictions, more than half of the state's population is now required to wear a mask.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
This amended safe return order is in effect till Monday, August 3rd at 8 a.m. The continuous rise of COVID-19 cases and deaths in Lowndes County is prompting supervisors to take action. During a work session today, supervisors decided they will consider adopting a resolution asking the governor to add them to a list of counties where masks are required. Now, they will consider the resolution at a meeting Monday. Board members say the governor has already indicated that he'll add a county to his list if they request it. Supervisors believe this is one way to help curb the virus from spreading in the county.
Somebody may be walking around that has it that really doesn't know it, and they could infect somebody if they don't have a mask on, or vice versa.
It's important that we wear masks, and we're concerned about the health and safety of the citizens of Lowndes County, and we want to do everything we possibly can to be able to decrease the numbers and the exposure possibility by not wearing masks.
The board will meet this Monday at 9 a.m. to vote on adopting the resolution. Well, there are some new rules in place in Clay County to help fight the spread of coronavirus. The Board of Supervisors passed a resolution this week that puts in place a curfew and mask requirement. It also limits occupancy in certain public places. The curfew will be in effect from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. for the next 30 days. Now, this does not apply to travel for essential business or medical emergencies. The resolution also requires people to wear face coverings in indoor and outdoor spaces. Restaurants cannot exceed 50% capacity at bars and clubs. Other establishments, they have limited capacity based on their ability to maintain social distancing.
As usual in the summertime, some showers and storms out there earlier today. Even a rainbow captured there on the Alpha Insurance Camera Network time lapse here in downtown Columbus. Most of us have remained dry now as we get into the 10 o'clock hour, but there are still some isolated showers out there. Generally tonight, I think we're dry and partly cloudy. 72 for the low here in the Friendly City, 73 in Tupelo, 71 over in West Alabama. Tomorrow, really much of the same as today. We're going to kind of copy and paste the forecast. 92 for the high. Heat index a couple of digits higher than that, but still through the afternoon we'll have the chance for some pop-up showers and storms. Generally though, southeast winds 5 to 10, helping to usher in more of that moist, warm air, and even some trouble down in the tropics. I've got more details on that in my first alert forecast in just a bit. Scott.
All right, Trevor, thanks so much. Well, the Flag Commission is complete after Governor Tate Reeves names his 3 appointees. The governor has picked Betsy Hamilton with the Mississippi Department of Archives and History, Tribal Chief CYRUS Ben with the Mississippi Economic Council, who is also the chief of the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians, and Frank Bordeaux with the Mississippi Arts Commission. Governor Reeves signed the bill to change the state flag on June 30th. By law, the governor had to appoint 3 people from these 3 organizations to be a part of the Mississippi Flag Commission. The group of 9 has until September 14th to come up with a design. The commission held its first meeting earlier this week. The clock is ticking for millions of unemployed Americans. This weekend, they will lose the extra $600 unemployment benefit they've been getting since the early days of the pandemic. And there doesn't seem to be a resolution in sight before the deadline. The White House and Senate Republicans still haven't come up with a plan to extend those benefits. CBS's Nancy Cortez has the very latest.
As 30 million Americans waited for a lifeline today, this is what the U.S. Senate looked like. Empty.
The suffering starts in 2 days.
Emergency federal jobless benefits, $600 per person per week, are about to expire.
And it makes it pretty hard to pay for a $1,200 apartment.
Chris Levy is an audio technician in Orlando and has a 6-year-old daughter. But his unemployment check is about to drop to $275 a week.
I lost my job by no fault of my own due to the pandemic, and now I kind of have seems like no backing.
House Democrats passed a bill 2 months ago to extend the $600 payments through January. But Senate Republicans are still finalizing their proposal, which they say will prevent anyone from making more on unemployment than they did at work.
The administration has requested additional time to review the fine details.
Republicans are derelict in their duty.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi warned today there is no plan B.
Are you considering extending these benefits for a month or 2 while you continue to negotiate?
No. You understand? No.
What should people, people who are at home wondering how they're going to afford their groceries next week?
Pass the bill.
The negotiations over all this could take weeks, and if there is a lapse in benefits, Congress could authorize retroactive payments. But as one lawmaker pointed out, you can't eat retroactively. Nancy Cortez, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The future is uncertain for more than 12 million families across the country. A moratorium on evictions from federally assisted properties expires tomorrow. Nearly a third of American households missed housing payments at the start of this month. CBS's Adriana Diaz has more on what could become a different kind of housing crisis.
Columbus, Ohio's convention center is open despite the pandemic. And instead of vendors at tables, these are lawyers offering free legal help for people facing eviction. Just look at this spaced out waiting room. They're here for eviction court.
Good morning.
Because the convention center allows for social distancing.
We took 300 to the previous owners.
Denisha Morgan is one of thousands facing eviction. She has 2 kids and stopped working during the pandemic, worried her Crohn's disease put her at risk.
I feel sad. I'm about to cry now. Like, it sucks. Most likely we'll get evicted.
Ohio is one of 28 states that currently does not have a ban on evictions. Denisha is one of the luckier ones. She was granted rent relief. As many as 28 million Americans could be evicted in the coming months. About 1 million were evicted in the year after the Great Recession. In Miami, this mother of 3 called us while she was out searching for a job.
Trying to figure everything out for my kids' sake.
She lost her home in May after the restaurant where she was a waitress shut down. Now she's at a motel. Her kids are staying with a babysitter.
At night, it really hits me, like when I can't even, tuck my kids into bed. It gets very emotional and it gets very sad to know, like, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Minorities are at greater risk for eviction, a group especially hard hit by the virus itself.
I did test positive Thursday.
So on top of being kicked out of your house, now you have COVID?
I do. I feel like I'm getting hit from left to right with everything going on with my situation. It's like, what's next?
There are likely others taking the same risk, with America caught between a health crisis and an economic one. Adriana Diaz, CBS News.
Scary times for sure. All right, we're going to send things back over to meteorologist Trevor Burchett. Trevor, a beautiful looking rainbow over Columbus. And I forget, you're not showing that right now.
I'm not showing it right now.
Sorry.
I'll get to it. I promise you, Scott. I promise. I know you want to see your photo on air. It's a great photo. We will get to it. There was a good rainbow out there today. Hey, maybe some more chances for rainbows in the next several days. Chances for pop-up storms continuing. Django's pretty excited about that, but I know some folks probably won't be. But there might be some changes coming up here soon. I've got more details on that in my first alert forecast. That's right after the break. See you.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Burchett.
We had some pockets of heavier showers and storms out there earlier today. Most of those have fizzled. Most recently, we had a little downpour come through Prentiss County and Boonville. That has just about rained itself out, leaving us mostly dry here as we go into the 10 o'clock hour. Hey, though, with the rain earlier today, we actually had a really nice rainbow across the area. There's that photo Scott has been so eager for me to show. He did get a really nice photo there on the north side of Columbus, a very vibrant rainbow. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson also getting in on some of the rainbow action, and one of our production assistants, our camera operator tonight, Will, he went out on lunch break and found the end of the rainbow, which, if you can't see it right there, it's actually Peking Chinese restaurant in Columbus. Who would have thought that? Hey, there's the answer to your lifelong question. The end of the rainbow is not a pot of gold. A Chinese restaurant. Who would have thought that, huh? Hey, Sade also getting in on the rainbow photos there. Some rain on the lens there with the beautiful, vibrant rainbow in the background. I do want to get you to your tropical update, though. A lot of stuff going on in the tropics. We actually have Hurricane Douglas getting ready to impact Hawaii. We have Tropical Storm Gonzalo here making its way into the Gulf. It's going to continue to weaken, but really the big game in town right now is Tropical Storm Hannah. Here's the latest on that just off the wire about 5 or 10 minutes ago. Really looks like a tropical storm there spinning out in the Gulf of Mexico. Winds are up to 65 miles an hour, just shy of hurricane strength actually. Pressure down to 992 millibars as it continues to move off to the west at about 17 miles an hour. Still expected to make landfall tomorrow as a Category 1 hurricane just south of Corpus Christi. So some very heavy rain, some gusty winds down in South Texas. Luckily not going to be an issue for us, and really no issues in the tropical department for us to deal with anytime soon. Tonight, 72 for the low. We'll keep in the chance of an isolated sprinkle. Generally, I think most of us just stay partly cloudy and mild. Tomorrow, another hot and humid one. We're going to see highs back into the low 90s. And once again, all over again, the chance will be there for some pop-up afternoon showers and storms. Not everybody going to see rain, but about a 30 to 40% chance. Just keep the umbrella handy. Also, download that WCBI News app. You can actually track the storms right on the interactive radar. So if you've got any outdoor plans tomorrow, that is a great way to stay informed of where the storms are heading. Here's a look at your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. I told you there might be a little bit of good news. Here's a look at it. We're going to be 92 this weekend. Temperatures actually fall just a little bit with the passage of a cold front down into the 80s by Wednesday and Thursday. Rain chances do bump up, though, just a little bit. Generally, over the next 7 days, anywhere from a 30 to a 60% chance of rain, depending on the day. Best bet this time of year, just keep the umbrella on standby, just in case one of those pop-up storms finds your location. Tonight, 73, as I mentioned, overnight low is going to stay right around 73 here for the next several days.
An Amory woman is remembered for her giving spirit, and her friends are making sure that her mission continues. We have her story when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. An Amory woman who wanted to protect others from COVID-19 fell victim to the virus. As Riley Martin reports, Ann Adams may have lost her battle with the coronavirus, but her family and friends have stepped in and are making sure that her mission to save lives continues.
Tammy Pigg remembers Ann Adams as not only a client at her beauty salon, but more importantly, a longtime friend.
And we traveled a lot together. We used to go to the diamond mine in Arkansas, and we would dig for diamonds, and that was our dream, to find a diamond.
Adams was disabled, but she was known as an expert quilt maker. So when COVID-19 began spreading in Monroe County, the Amory woman started making cloth masks. About the same time, Tammy decided to make one of her own.
When I made mine, it looked like a diaper on my face. So I think she realized it looked like a diaper on my face. And so she said, "I'm bringing you a mask." So I posted a picture on Facebook.
Demand quickly grew for Ann's custom-made cloth masks. As she was making the mask, her husband Mike was working in the biomed department at NMMC. In early June, Mike and Ann began feeling ill, and tested positive for COVID-19. Mike recovered, but Ann passed away.
I'm telling you, she was a wonderful human being, and I'm gonna miss her so bad. And she was just so special.
Even through his grieving, Mike Adams is looking to continue his wife's legacy. She left behind a lot of quilting material, and Mike is looking for volunteers to make masks to continue Ann's mission.
We've got all this material that she had, so we're getting some sewers and some cutters, and we are going to start passing out masks. And we are so excited, and I'm so proud for him doing this, just to save her memory, because I have some precious memories of her.
Tammy says Ann would want the potentially life-saving work to continue.
She would love it, and I know she is just rooting for us.
In Amory, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Volunteers are needed now, so the masks can be distributed during a back-to-school drive-through event. Now, that event will take place August 2nd at 2 p.m. at the American Legion on Highway 145 in Aberdeen. It is sponsored by the Junior Women's League of Monroe County, and they're helping coordinate the volunteer work. Mississippi JUCO football will officially happen this fall. More details coming up next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
JUCO football might be delayed, however, it's alive for the fall 2020 season. The Mississippi Association of Community Colleges voted to delay the JUCO season to October 1st. The new season layout consists of a 6-game division-only season that will conclude with a playoff. The National Junior College Athletic Association decided in early July to postpone fall athletics until the spring of 2021 due to growing concerns for COVID-19. The MACC originally abstained from that vote in hopes of having an independent 2020 season. ICC head coach Sean Cannon says the decision is a positive one.
We got to execute our fall ready plan. You know, we've already got depth charts ready and things like that. Been meeting as coaches and things, so we'll get ready to rock and roll and get them here and get them in shape. And then, you know, once we kind of figure out where our when we can practice and what's going to be allowable and things like that, and we'll get that plan ready, and then we'll get them here and get them rolling.
Academy Week has arrived on the high school football tour. Stop number 33 checks in with the Calhoun Academy Cougars. Take a listen.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
Around this time a year ago, Calhoun Academy wasn't sure they would have enough players to field a team. Fast forward to now, not only do they have enough players, they feel they have the talent to make a run for the chip, coming off a playoff appearance last season. How far they go depends on one thing:
staying healthy. Well, you know, we started the season off last year at 6-0, and then we started getting injuries and stuff, and the next thing we knew, we were at 6-4, and made the playoffs, but we didn't have enough kids left healthy to make to play the game.
I think if we can avoid injuries this year, we can do something good. Like last year, we started off good, got to the playoffs, and injuries killed us. I just hope we can get to the playoffs this year healthy and make a run.
The Cougars bring back an experienced team that knows the scheme, allowing coaches to focus their efforts elsewhere.
You don't have to do as many repetitions as you normally would, because they already know the philosophy of the game that we're trying to play. And that makes it a lot easier.
Most of our team is returning from last year. We have a couple of new kids, and we only lost a couple. So I think we really have that chemistry already built up, so it won't be that hard to just pick up where we left off last year.
Head coach Gary Winters feels the Cougars' competitive tradition plays a huge role in how the team operates.
Going to the playoffs every year helps a lot too, and it keeps enthusiasm up. And we're shooting to win the thing this year.
We work hard every time we go out, and really good coaches, and nice place, really. And we've all been here since 7th grade playing for them. We're really close group of seniors, and we really know how to play with each other.
Calhoun Academy looks to put it all together on the gridiron starting August 21st as they travel to play Lee in Arkansas. With the Cougars on the high school football tour, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with Calhoun Academy is brought to you by Calhoun Banking Center.
for sports. We'll have more for you when we come back after the break.
All right, this is Eric Lampkin. He has been the 6 and 10 p.m. producer here at WCBI. He's worked at WCBI for almost 31 years. Today is his last day. I have worked with him for the last 3 years. Eric, we are going to miss you. And now I want to direct everyone's attention to the news desk here. Eric always did Hawaiian Shirt Friday.
Very fun.
So we thought we'd throw him a little luau.
We had to steal some decorations from the newsroom, but these were from the party earlier today.
We just had some cake and some things to celebrate Eric. Eric, you're going to be sincerely missed here at WCBI.
Wishing you the best.
I hope you had a great luau, and yeah, kudos to you. Oh, there he is. There he is working. We're going to miss you, Eric. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Best of luck, Eric.